your I can statement for this week is I can summarize. And I wrote down at the bottom of my chart here, this says super summarizing. And I wrote down here at the bottom what a summary is. I said a summary equals tell in your own words the most important parts of a story. So I'm going to show you today how you could do a summary of this book called The Lost Valentine. But first I'm going to talk a little bit about what it means to be a super summarizer. Because what you would do if you were going to write a summary is the first thing you would do is you would read the whole book. Before you can do a summary, you have to read the whole book because otherwise you won't know what it was about. Then you're going to include important events. So we have to think about what's the most important parts of this book.
What?
You're going to use your own words. You don't want to copy it out of the book.
What?
You're going to keep it short. The key to a good summary is that it's going to be short. You don't want to tell everything that happened in the book. You just want to tell the most important parts. So you have to think about what's most important. And this is a good way to help yourself. You can use the words somebody wanted but so. Show me a thumbs up if you practiced that somebody wanted. Oh, everybody practiced it yesterday, didn't they? I'm going to show you today what that would look like. Okay, so I'm going to pretend that I am a student and I am going to write a summary using somebody wanted but so. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is this one right here. I'm going to read the whole book. Are you ready? The Lost Valentines. Michael was happy. Today was Valentine's Day, and there was going to be a party at school. He had valentines in his backpack to give all the girls and boys in his class. Michael put his backpack down in the snow. Then he went off to play with his friends. Time for school, said the teacher. Let's go, get in line. Michael picked up his backpack and got in line. When it was time for the Valentine's Day party, the girls and boys got out their valentines. Oh no, said Michael. Where are my valentines? My valentines are not in my backpack. Michael was sad and put his head down on the table. Don't be sad, Michael, said the girls and boys. You can make some new valentines. We will help you. The girls and boys got some paper and markers. They helped Michael make some valentines. Michael's valentines are the best valentines, said the girls and boys. Okay, so now I am going to practice making a summary for this book, which means I'm going to tell the most important parts in my own words. So we said we were going to use this strategy right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think about somebody. I have to decide who this story was mostly about. I think I'm going to go back into the book and I am going to look to see who this story is mostly about. Okay, well, I can see that Michael is in this story. Let's see if there's any other characters in this story. There's some other boys and girls and there's a teacher. But I'm thinking that Michael is the most important character in this story because it's him who lost his backpack and made the valentines. So I think I'm going to write down Michael is the most important person in my story. So the somebody in this story is Michael. Now, I'm going to do wanted. So when I get to wanted, I'm going to think about what Michael wanted to have happen in this book. You know what? Why don't you turn to a partner and see if you can think about what Michael wanted. And I want you to think about why it's important to think about what he wanted.
He wanted to head down Valentine.
Okay, I want everybody's eyes back here in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to show you what I was thinking when I tried to add the wanted part to my summary. I went back into my book again and I thought, okay, Michael was getting ready for school and it was was Valentine's Day. Oh, and he wanted to give Valentines to the boys and girls in his class. I only have to go to the first page. Give yourself a pat on the back if you knew that what he wanted was to give Valentines to his friends. Now, this is going to get tricky because now we have to do the but. But there was a problem. What is the problem in this story? Think about that problem yourself, but here's my question for you. If we were going to tell somebody about this book and we just wanted to give them a summary, why is it important to tell them the problem? What do you think? Why is it important to tell them the problem?
Because before we need to figure the problem out.
Yeah, why do we need to figure the problem out?
Because if you don't figure the problem out, how will you know what to solve?
Oh, you need to know what the problem is in order to be able to think about the solution. Do you think the problem is an interesting part of the story? It is, and we want to make sure that we include those interesting or important parts. So here I go. Okay, we know that it's about Michael, and he, I can see just by looking at the picture. I don't even have to reread it. You know what? I noticed when you guys were listening to this story that you noticed right away what happened. I can see the problem here. The problem is he lost his Valentines. That was a big problem, wasn't it? I bet he worked hard on it too. Okay, last one. We have to figure out, he lost his Valentines, so how did he solve it? Oh look, you are all so clever that you already know how he solved it because you were good listeners, but I'm going to show you first and then you can. So, if I'm reading this book and I want to figure out what the solution is, how they solved it, remember, we're going to look back at the book to help. We know that he was really sad. Oh, I think that might be the solution. He put his head down on the table. Oh, that didn't solve it, though. That's something that happened, but that isn't what's most important. So after he put his head down on the table, oh, his friends. What did they say, Danny Brooke?
Yeah, they can help him make a new one.
They did. They said they could help him make new Valentines. And that did solve the problem because they thought that they were the best Valentines of all. So I'm going to write on my chart. So, his friends helped him make new Valentines. Okay, so here's what we got. We know that the somebody is Michael, that what he wanted was to give Valentines to his friends, but he lost the Valentines, so his friends helped him make new Valentines. Now, what we did is this part right here. We used the key words to help us figure out what's most important, but we didn't really write a summary yet. So I'm going to show you what it looks like to tell someone a summary. Okay, are you ready? Here I go. I'm going to ask you to do it, so pay close attention. It goes like this. Michael wanted to give Valentines to his friends, but he lost those Valentines, so his friends helped him make new Valentines. Do you see how I used the words that were on here, but I made it into a summary or a little short story? Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to turn to your shoulder partner, and I want you to each take a turn telling the summary, and you can peek up here at the chart if you need to. So tell your friends your summary. Would you like to be my partner? Your Sunday. Scooch over here. That is a summary that is short, has all the important parts, and tells the important information. Okay, I want your eyes back here in 3, 2, 1. Do I have a volunteer who would be willing to tell their summary to the class? Will you come tell your summary to the class?
Michael gave Valentine's to his friends, but lost Valentine's. So his friends helped him make new Valentine's.
Okay, let me tell you what you just did. You did a summary because you kept it short. You thought about what was important, and you used those key words of what they wanted, what happened, and so. Do I have one more volunteer? Will you come over? Okay, one more summary.
Michael wanted
Turn this just a little bit so I can hear you. Nice loud voice.
Michael wanted to give Valentine's to his friends, but he lost Valentine's, so his friends helped him make new Valentine's.
Perfect. It was short. You had all the important things, and you used somebody wanted this. So. Okay, listen carefully because it's going to get tricky now. One last time, and I need somebody who can do the summary without the chart. Danny Brooke, you think you can do it? Okay, let's have it. Okay, let's hear it.
Michael
Big loud voice, everybody can hear you.
Michael wanted to give Valentine's to his friends, but he lost the Valentine's, and his friends helped him make new.
High five. Short, important, and she had who it was, what they wanted, what the problem was, and how they solved it. So today, when you are doing your reading during Read to Self, I want you, when you get to the end of the book, because you have to read the whole thing first, to think about the somebody, the wanted, the but, and the so, and see if you can make a summary yourself. And then, if you have Read to Someone today, I want you to try what we just did and telling them a summary of your book. Maybe they would be interested in it and they would want to read it then. Okay, it is time.
Do we get to keep the chart to remind us of the
Absolutely.
details?
The chart will be here, so
Perfect.
you can look at it if you want to.
Perfect, thank you.
Are they going out to a rotation?
They are.
Okay, you know what to do.
Second rotation.
Second rotation. Get started.
Yellow group at the table.
Thank you, friends.